Hey y'all, Curve21, back at you again with another Pokemon Go PvP video. In this video, it is part 4 of our series, 75 unique Pokemon at the start of Season 3, and we are leading off Lapras against the best possible Pokemon we could choose, Altaria. We don't really have a safe option against Stunfisk, so we're just going to do it by 2 Pokemon, Surf with Lapras, and then finish it off with Gallade. We do resist these Rock Slides with our Fighting typing, but that Earthquake would probably knock us out because of how glassy we are, so we are taking a risk here. We're going to go in with Leaf Blade, either getting the shield or getting him so close to a knockout that we gain the switch advantage. We're going to no-shield this, thinking it's Rock Slide, and it's the Earthquake. So they now have the switch advantage. We're going to go for the energy lead, but we have to use a shield up. So we've lost our advantage. They swap out, losing their advantage. But you know what? Vespiqun's not great against any of their 3 Pokemon. So we're going to go for Skull Bash, raise our defense stage, and they haven't thrown any charge move yet. So here's a head game. They need to shield this. We're going to throw the bait. They're going to want to throw that energy. Don't know if it's a Hydro Pump or if it's a Play Rough. It's the Hydro Pump. Now I know they don't have much energy. We might be able to beat them to their second charge move, and we do. Skull Bash lands, knocks out their Azumarill. We're able to farm down this Altaria with Ice Shards. This shouldn't do that much damage. It shocked me. That Sky Tech did way too much damage for a 2 defense stages boost on Lapras that we wanted to maybe swap over to our Vespiquen. But the Surf did just enough chip damage to get the knockout with Ice Shard, and we got perfect amount of energy to surf his incoming Stunfisk. Wow. We made a lot of good choices and got a little bit lucky there at the end. We didn't even have to use our last Pokemon, but if that Stunfisk got to match up against our Vespiquen, they could have just Rock Slided and we would have been gone. Vespiquen's very good against Vigoroth, but Raichu not so much. It's an interesting matchup. If we land the Wild Charge, we're in very good shape, but we don't build up the energy to it, so our opponent didn't need a shield. They were probably counting, so good play to them. We switch in our Kingdra to catch that Body Slam, so we don't have to use a shield on Raichu. It's very glassy. And they counter swap us. So another mistake maybe by us, looking back in hindsight. But we're just going to go for Octazooka, try to drop their attack stat. And this is where I think my opponent might have made a mistake. Play Rough would have knocked out at that range. And they're looking to bubble us down to build up a ton of energy. But we're able to land an Octazooka and then they throw an Ice Beam, wasting all their energy here. So we're like, we can beat you to a charge move. Thundershock is a super fast energy gaining move. We're going to beat you to the Wild Charge. You might not even think about it because we showed you Brick Break and we get the knockout. We drop our defense by 2, immediately swap out to Venusaur. They have a huge counter swap in Cresselia. If they had Confusion, this game would have been over. They would have just farmed us down and they wouldn't have even needed to get through our shields. But they have Cycle Cut, which gives them access to a lot of different charge moves. Like you just saw, Future Sight would have KO'd our Venusaur at that range. We need to shield that. And Venusaur is our route to victory, beating up on Vigoroth. And we need to land 2 Frenzy Plants against this Cresselia. Oh my goodness, they got the bait with that Grass Knot. So we land 1 Frenzy Plant, and we're going to try to look to Wild Charge them. They swap out, and now we're going to go for this Brick Break to try to get a little bit of energy to throw the Wild Charge, and they get the Body Slam. So good play to them. We now need to farm up 2, race them to the charge move. We have to get this Frenzy Plant. Is this the Future Sight or the Grass Knot? Yikes. Well played to our opponent. We made a couple of fatal errors in that game, and, they only made 1 mistake maybe in that Ice Beam instead of Play Rough. They might not even had Play Rough, so I don't know if that was a mistake, but it's questionable. We made too many mistakes, and that's what lost us that game. So here we're just going to swap out our Noctowl to make sure it's the tankier option for this upcoming matchup, and we're going to shiny check these Pokemon. Overall, we came into this set at a record of 9-6. Pretty good for the first 15 battles. Our goal is just to have a winning record of 13-12. Let's set a new record. Let's set a new goal in mind. 15 wins, 10 losses. Because right now we have 10 wins and only 7. We're leading Abomasnow against an interesting matchup, Ferrothorn. Their Flash Cannon would have 1-hit KO'd us. So we're going to try to catch it on our Primeape. And we're going to try to counter it down, but we can't get there before their next charge move of Power Whip. So we need to shield this. And we're thinking, oh, let's just go ahead and throw a charge move. They bring in Alolan Marowak, and Night Slash does decent damage, being super effective, but they're able to Hex us down. Noticing they have Hex, I bring in our Noctowl, which is a hard wall. Ghost, doubly resisted to normal types. Ground types, they're doubly resisted by flying types. So he has really no option to threaten us, and they're locked into this matchup until their switch clock comes up. So we can farm up to 100 energy with our wing attack, and we get to unleash this energy against whatever comes in. It ends up being a Galar Stunfisk, and they didn't really need to shield that. I think that was a mistake. We're just going to go for the Weather Ball, does neutral damage, but at this range, we probably are going to look to Energy Ball them. Here's the problem. They have a shield. We needed to shield that Rock Slide. That would have done super effective. We basically knocked out if we get hit by that. We go for the Energy Ball, and they shield it correctly. So they've got all the correct shieldings, and we have to farm this down. Our only route to victory is to land this Energy Ball on their Stunfisk. We farm down the Alolan. We throw the Energy Ball. It is the Stunfisk. We're able to farm down with Noctowl. They only have Ferrothorn left, and this Sky Attack is going to win us the game. Very interesting game. Some very questionable choices from both us and our opponent, and because we chose at the very end to play to our out, we needed to land that Energy Ball against Stunfisk. We could not have thrown that Weather Ball at Alolan. We win the game. And we're rewarded with Granbull versus Altaria with Charm. They bring in their Azumarill, but these bubbles are hurting. We're not going to shield this. It's just an Ice Beam, but it does a lot of damage. We're pretty glassy, you know? We're going to go for this immediate Shadow Punch. Not even going to bait the shield. They know it's a Shadow Punch, so they have no reason to shield it. And we get a little bit of energy gain with these Shadow Claws. We need to shield this Ice Beam or else we would get knocked out with our Haunter. And now we're going to go for this Shadow Ball. Either getting the shield or a ton of damage on this Altaria. And we're going to die with the Shadow Punch. Oh, that would have been amazing value if we could have landed that. This Sky Attack would knock us out, and knocking out our counter to a dragon would be very embarrassing. So we're going to shield our Granbull, throw this Crunch to get the KO or a shield, and now they have a shield advantage, and that's going to be very difficult to overcome because we need to land this Bulldoze. Our win condition here, they're only on Flash Cannon, and they've got Focus Blast. So they do a ton of damage to our Vigoroth, and we bait correctly with the Body Slam, but we couldn't get the second one off. So now we have to land the Close Combat, and we're going to get knocked out by whatever charge move this is. Fainting with a Shadow Punch, fainting with a Body Slam, fainting very close to that Crunch, just a couple of seconds off, and we drop this game. So now we're at 2-2. Our goal for this set is to just finish with a winning record, 3-2. We have a bad lead. It's tough. Our plan? Let's bait them with a Dazzling Gleam that we don't even have. Now, how we're going to do that? We're not going to farm up to 2 Sky Attacks like you might have seen in other videos where you want to double down. We're going to go to about 1.5 Sky Attack and then throw. This way they might think it's the fairy move and shield incorrectly, but they actually don't shield. And now they know it's a Sky Attack. So are they going to shield? They're not. So now we have swap advantage. We had to shield that first one because it could have been Dark Pulse to do a little bit extra damage, but they just did 3 foul plays and we shielded one of them. So now they bring in their Golbat. We have the switch advantage. Very important. Throw our Sky Attack and they give up their shield advantage. Good for us. They're going to farm a ton of energy. So that's their advantage. Energy gain. We're going to bring in a hard wall. A super big wall in a Probopass. They land a Shadow Ball. Good for them. But we have a huge counter to their water and flying type in the back. And Ampharos with Volt Switch. Holy cow, this is incredible. We're going to go up to 2 Thunder Punches, doubling down on the charge moves here because we want to knock out this Empoleon no matter what. They give it up, bring in their Golbat, who still has a lot of energy, and they're going to shield this Thunder Punch. We're going to look to get to that other one. We're 1 move away, and this Poison Fang barely knocks out our Ampharos, but the Probopass is a hard wall. So we do finish this game up 3-2, winning record, and overall 12-8. Can we get there in the last game? Good luck. Here